Using the moderator sheet of a moderator pack. The moderator sheet is the first sheet of the moderator pack and intended for a moderator or second marker to record moderation commentary and/or log a moderated or second mark. The columns from G onwards in the moderator sheet can vary depending on how the pack was provided to you and should be relevant to the needs of moderating or second marking the assessment that the pack is being used to support. The columns should be named such that they make sense in terms of how you are to use them. It's very important to note that first marks should always be entered directly into Turnitin itself, never manually into a moderator pack. Be sure not to manually change any data in columns A, B, C or D of the moderator sheet, nor add any additional rows into the sheet. Click in a cell of the moderator sheet and start typing to log your entries. A particularly useful feature of the moderator sheet is that, using the paper ID link in column C of the sheet, you can directly launch a submission stored in Turnitin. To do this, however, you first need to prepare the VLE for the paper ID links to work. This can be done as follows. Make sure you are logged into the VLE with your default browser, and then click the Go to VLE site link located in cell A3 of the moderator sheet. Alternatively, you can access the VLE and navigate to the VLE site containing the assessment submission point manually. With the VLE site launched, locate the Turnitin submission point and click on its title to open its assignment inbox. Now, launch Turnitin Feedback Studio for a random student who has a submission listed, by clicking on the grade showing for the student or the pencil icon in the grade column if a score hasn't been logged as yet. Turnitin Feedback Studio's grading interface will open in a new window. With a Turnitin Feedback Studio window launched, as noted, it doesn't matter for which submission, the paper ID links in column C of the moderator sheet will now work. When the submission you do want to view has launched, you will be able to see all the first markers' feedback, including how they have completed an attached rubric or grading form, overarching feedback, annotation, and the mark in Turnitin. If you'd rather not use the paper ID link provided in the moderator sheet, you can locate a submission using the paper ID number itself. To do this, right-click on a paper ID in column C of the moderator sheet and select Copy from the pop-up menu. Navigate to the submission points assignment inbox in the VLE and paste the paper ID in the search field at the top left of the inbox. This will filter the inbox to just show the submission represented by that ID. Click the score or pencil icon showing in the grade column for the submission to view it, along with the first marker's feedback. Note that if the mark you see in the VLE for that submission is different to the mark you see on the moderator sheet in column D, then the TFS grade report data in the mod pack you are using will almost certainly need to be updated. Updating the TFS grade report sheet is covered elsewhere and may be something that your administrative team execute. If in any doubt about who should be updating the moderator pack with more recent data from Turnitin, contact your departmental assessment administration team. If you need a reminder of the paper ID when looking at a submission within the Turnitin Feedback Studio interface, you can find it by clicking the Submission Information icon, an italic letter I, available from the column of icons at the right of the displayed submission. Note that on the displayed info panel, the ID is labelled Submission ID rather than Paper ID. As noted at the start of this video, it's worth reiterating that you should never manually enter or update a first mark that appears in a moderator pack. This should only ever be done via data coming from a Turnitin grade report, exported from Turnitin. Similarly, you should never manually create entries for newly received submissions. For example, those received later in the process from students with extensions. Again, these should appear in the moderator pack via data coming from a Turnitin grade report, exported from Turnitin and inserted into the moderator pack. If a first mark has changed as a consequence of the moderation or second marking process, then either the original first marker or you, whichever you or your department has agreed should perform this task, We'll need to update the marks within Turnitin to reflect the agreed mark when the feedback is released to students. This can be done by launching the submission using the paper ID link in the mod pack and editing the mark shown in the primary score field. If an assessment is being marked by more than one first marker and you have or require some oversight of marking progress, you may find the Mark Analysis tab of the mod pack useful. The data shown on the Mark Analysis tab is read-only and can be particularly useful if needing to quickly ascertain mark distributions across multiple first markers, for example.